Hey Arlo and Frank, greetings from the Vatican. Today I'm at the Rebo Monument. It's a pillar, and I think it's a replica of a pillar that was erected here at the north end of the Fort Caroline area, right along the banks of the St. John River. It was a settlement marker that was put here by a French guy named Rebo. That's why it's named after him. Anyway, today we're going to be in the Enchanted Fairy Tale Storybook. Now, this story today, the town mouse and the city mouse. I did another version of this one a few weeks ago, but this is different enough that it's a very similar story, but it's different enough that I figured I would do it this time too. You might like one better, you might like the other better. Who knows? If it's your grandmother, she doesn't like mice at all, even if they're pretend mice. My story begins with 2 homes and 2 mice. To tell the whole story, I must tell it twice. And this over here looks like a skateboard, something. And then there's 2 mice. In the thick of the thickets, an old country house housed a youngster who went by the name of Pam Mouse. It's so boring out here, she complained to the sheep. Why, there's nothing to do here but lie down and sleep. And here she is complaining to the lamb. So she lay in the meadow beside a clear stream, and she stared at the mountains and started to dream. Oh, if only I lived in the city I know, I would never be bored. I would never feel low. And here she is, Pam Mouse. And she's laying there dreaming. Laying there on her back, so if she's like me, she's snoring. Far away in a town, in a big boarding house, lived a cousin of Pam's who was called Hot Rod Mouse. Hot Rod Mouse told his mom, I'm so sick of this place, how I long for the country, the wide open space. And here's Hot Rod Mouse looking out over the landscape of the city. So he wrote to his cousin and put it this way, Cousin Pam, let's trade places for more than a day. Then he sealed up his letter and licked on a stamp, and he thought, I'll go straight to the country and camp. And here he is, penning his letter to Cousin Pam in the country. Cousin Pam got the letter and hollered out loud, I can't wait to see pavement, a real city crowd. So she hopped a mouse train that was traveling west. Now I'm off to the city, the place I love best. And so here's Pam getting the letter, and then here she is, hopping on out onto the train, the westbound train. Oh, she's leaving on a westbound train to the city. In the meantime, the town mouse had boarded his train to the country, for city life drives me insane. And the first thing he did when he reached the mouse farm was to run from a cow who intended no harm. So here he is, and he's out there, and the cows just having some fun. And I guess cows are fun-loving creatures. But City Mouse doesn't understand it. I don't care much for chickens. There's no one to play. And the nearest mouse kid must live 12 miles away. And the noise that the frogs and the whippoorwills make drives me crazy at night as I lie wide awake. So there's a couple ways people say it. One is be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it, meaning that you might not like what you get. And the other is the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. So when you're on your side, you always go, oh, over there looks better. Looks better. So Hot Rod Mouse, he thought being in the country was better, but he already misses some things about the city, doesn't he? And the rest of the story, the tale of Pam Mouse, as to how did she fare in that town boarding house. Oh, the factories and cars and the buses all seethe. They have houses so close that they can't even breathe. How she longed for her meadows and fresh country air. All the horns and the clatter drove Pam to despair. And so, here's Pam being driven to despair next to a bunch of cars. And so Hot Rod and Pam traded places once more. Then they landed back home in the lands they adore. Now when someone asks how did the two homes compare, they say, nice place to visit. Wouldn't want to live there. Peace out.